Hello, welcome to live Q&A Sunday. Just testing out this new setup, going live on YouTube. Okay, looks pretty good. So, um, first question I get this question asked all the time, and I really love answering it. What, why strength training instead of cardio? Why strength training instead of Pilates or any of these other things? So, if there's it depends what category you're in, where you're at on your journey as to what is the right type of exercise for you. So I'm not saying cardio is bad. I'm not saying Pilates is bad, and I'm not saying there's inherent benefits to each different training style. Um, so if someone was to come to me, a woman was. So was had come to me. She's in her 50s. She's got a bit of weight to lose. She um, say she's her BMI is above 30, and she wants to lose weight. So and she's doing nothing. So she's sedentary, and she's got some things she can improve in her diet. So in this particular instance, uh, any exercise increasing your overall activity would be the most important thing. So worrying about whether strength training is right for you or whether cardio is right for you it really doesn't matter. Increasing your movement is going to give you the best bang for your buck, and especially doing something that you enjoy. When you come to a stage where you've started to lose weight for a while, um, you've done cardio for a while, and it's not helping you lose weight anymore, and you find that you're increasing your cardio to possibly 4, even 5 hours a week. And there are a lot of people who are exercising 5 hours a week, doing cardio for 5 hours a week with the intention to lose weight and not getting results week on week, and even not getting results for kind of 2 months. And you can blame it on the diet, and people do tend to, because they know their diet's not perfect, and they say, well, there's things I can do to improve my diet, so I've just got to keep this cardio there, but I'll keep trying to improve my diet. What will happen in this instance is, firstly, no one has a perfect diet, so you'll always be able to pick apart, see things that you can do better. And knowing how good a diet is good enough is really important. But seeing okay, so the problem with adding more and more activity is that you're going to have to meet your energy needs, and your body's going to start demanding more and more food. And the way it demands more food is through cravings. So you might find that the more exercise you do, the more your diet falls to pieces, and then it becomes, uh, according to your experience, it becomes even more obvious what the problem is. But the problem isn't actually the diet, or that's not where you can make improvements, because your body's refusing to eat such few calories or such a reduced level of carbohydrate, um, because your energy output, your the amount of cardio you're doing is so much that it has to demand more food. Otherwise, um, otherwise it risks losing weight, and your body doesn't want to lose weight. Your body wants to maintain everything it's got. So that's called homeostasis. Um, so when someone comes to a point where they're adding 4 to 5 hours of cardio and it's not working, the next step, you've got two choices. You've got to either eat more food, or you've got to change the way you exercise. And when you change the way you exercise to strength training as opposed to cardio, your body doesn't go under anywhere near as much stress doing strength training as it does doing cardio. And especially these kind of like HIIT training cardios where they're pushing you um, to your uh, beyond your VO2 max, which is beyond that, outside of that cardio zone where you start to feel really fatigued really quickly. And that's what HIIT training is. That puts a huge amount of stress and demand on your body. So when you do strength training, you might find that it's actually much easier for you to do. You can get uh, do a workout that lasts about 30 minutes. It doesn't feel that intense. And you can go back the next day, or you can do, you don't need any time to recover, and you can go about 3 or 4 times a week without creating so much of a deficit in your diet that your body demands all this food. So basically, heaps of cardio makes you hungrier. Strength inherently doesn't do that to the same extent that the cardio is that you might be doing. It doesn't increase your stress response. So if we compare a normal 30-minute strength training session where you go to a moderate level of fatigue to a F45 HIIT session where you probably go to a moderate level of fatigue, but it's a different type of fatigue than if you were doing strength training. Your body's demands for recovery are so high that you need to rest, you need to sleep, you need to eat more. And that just doesn't happen in strength training to the same extent. So doing strength with when you move to a strength training program, it's much easier to be able to control the amount of exercise you do, the amount of recovery you need, and the amount of food you need to assist in the recovery and assist in hormonal homeostasis. So the other thing that happens when you're doing cardio, say you're doing running and you run around the block, and then you keep running around the block 3 times a week, and you do it about the same pace. You do it in about 6 minutes. Cool. The next time you do it in 6 minutes, and you keep on doing it at about the same. What will happen is you get better and more efficient at running. And what happens when you get better and more efficient at something, your body doesn't need as many resources to perform the same activity. So you actually don't burn as many calories doing the same amount of exercise. So you have to increase the run. That's the principle of progressive overload. So, which is cool. That's all right. The problem with overloading cardio is each time you do it, you're going to have to run longer. You might have to run faster, or you have to run a further distance. So the duration taken to do this cardio increases over time. But when you do a strength training program, the workout is always going to be the same duration, because the variable that changes is the weight goes up. So it takes the same amount of time, but you just put more weight on. So the duration doesn't increase. So you're spending the same amount of time doing the exercise. So it makes it much. There are a couple of logistical reasons why strength training is a suitable strategy for increasing your fitness, increasing your body, so changing the shape of your body, and then on top of aside from increasing your strength and making you look and feel better, there's some other amazing benefits that strength training inherently has. I think there's some specific benefits to cognitive health, especially later in life. There's benefit to having an increased muscle mass later in life as well. Let me tell you a story about when I used to work at Mr. Vitamins. So I'd work at Mr. Vitamins and I'd see probably 50, maybe 50 people will come in a day. They're all at different stages of their fitness journey. Some of them are young and inexperienced. Others had been doing it for 40, 50 years. What I found was the so I worked in the sports section. So I was consulting with people who were interested in their fitness, and there was another section with people who were more interested in their overall health, and they had kind of digestive issues, allergies, those types of things. So those types of people were generally less healthy than the people that I was consulting with. What I witnessed was that the men and women in there that had retired that were doing strength training, and they've retired, they're probably grandparents. Cognitively, they were noticeably sharper than the people who might have been doing a different form of exercise or a not exercising at all. So maybe there's an increase in health, a noticeable increase in uh, cognitive health of someone who's exercising compared to someone who's sedentary, but there was a noticeable difference between the people who had done strength training for 30 years and they were kind of octogenarians compared to people who were either sedentary or doing cardio. And that was a really big, kind of interesting story for me. And I never forgot that. So the it is clear that the benefits of strength training uh, go well beyond transforming your body. And the benefits of strength training for transforming your body, in my opinion, are slightly better. It's a better strategy than doing cardio and low carb or something like that.